Yo, what's going on, people? And today we got some more information on some changes coming to Rainbow Six Siege and some of the new operators. So first of all, Ela and Hibana are gonna get a nerf, and also they're looking at buffing Castle, but right now they're not sure what's the best way to do that. So we're gonna start off with the Ela nerf first. She's gonna get an increased recoil on her SMG once again. They're gonna lower the damage, and they're gonna swap out her impact grenades for a deployable shield, because she's still very much overpicked. In fact, she is the most picked operator in the game right now, and they said they had trouble with nerfing her because no matter what they did in the past, it didn't work. So how overpicked is Ela? Well, they have these graphs on which they measure the information in terms of the win and pick rate for operators. This is how they keep balancing them. And so as you can see, they kind of have this sweet spot here on the graph, and they said the reason that it's not at 50% is because there's so many operators in the game and you can only pick them once per round, so it can't be at 50%. And they also like to keep the win rate between the 5%, so that's why it's going to be at 0. 0 is going to be pretty balanced between -3% and 3% at the top. So yeah, 0 and 30% is kind of that sweet spot for where an operator is evenly balanced. So where on this graph does Ela fit? So into the next slide right here, she is all the way at the top, which means she is picked the most and she has the highest win rate right now. So yeah, in terms of data, Ela is pretty OP right now. And as you can see, Sledge and Thermite are, among the most balanced operators in the game right now. Just to show how much of a problem she is, they also use this second graph right here, and they said this is the defender's pick rate. And normally, after a new attacker comes out, that new operator that came out in the previous season, their pick rate tends to go down in favor of the new operators. So, people like to pick new operators, but in terms of Ela, it has not changed at all since her release. The bar just goes straight across, and in the middle there in December is where Vigil and Dokkaebi were released, and just as you can see, it did not impact her pick rate at all. She is still the most picked operator right now. Yeah, once again, her nerfs are gonna be reduced damage on her SMG, increased recoil, and they're gonna swap out her impact grenades for a deployable shield. But back to this graph, as you can see, Hibana is just outside of that sweet spot. She's just ahead of Thermite. So even though that they do the same thing, which is basically break down reinforced walls, Hibana is ahead of Thermite, and they said after having feedback with some of the pro players and looking at the data, this is because she's better at killing people. So she's gonna get a nerf to her secondary weapon. They didn't say how, but this is gonna receive a nerf, which also means that Echo is going to get a nerf because he has the same secondary gun. And just to compare it to Sledge and Smoke's SMG 11 in the game, she has twice as many kills with her automatic pistol, and there are 3 of these in the game now, but I guess there's not enough data to count in Vigil and Dokkaebi's yet. So yeah, this graph, she has twice as many kills as Sledge's automatic pistol. And you can see the graph starts to go up because at the higher level ranks, which are Diamond and Platinum, they said they take the game more seriously, so they're trying to win. So that's why they kind of measure from the higher end, because the game is a lot more competitive and way different in the higher ranks. So the players are a lot more skilled. And next up, they said they're gonna change how they do patches. So normally, new operators are released at the beginning of the season, and the mid-season reinforcement patch is where the big changes are. This is where OP characters get nerfed, where certain things get buffed. All the big changes happen in the middle of the season. They said they want to change this to the beginning of the season instead of waiting 6 months to fix changes in the middle of the season, basically. So they said the beginning of each season is going to see the big changes, and then if anything needs to change, then they're going to do the minor fixes in the mid-season reinforcement patch. And they also said they want to do increased communication with the players in terms of patches and what they want to change, and then after the patch has been done, letting them know if what they tried to do succeeded or if it failed, so they're going to have to try and do something different. And lastly, they said they're going to be introducing a pick and ban system, and this is going to be revealed tomorrow, so I'll be covering that as well. But as for right now, I'm kind of falling on the side of I don't think this is necessary. Maybe if, as it's revealed tomorrow, how they do it, I might change my mind and say, okay, this is fine. But for right now, the thought of a pick and ban system in Siege, I don't like, because the reason that I like Siege is, well, because everything has a counter. Each operator on the defending side has a counter on the attacking side, and vice versa. So if you introduce a pick and ban system, how is that gonna kind of affect how the game plays? Because if you are really good at playing mute, like you get all these locations, you block the drones, you block their you stop them from breaching reinforced walls. There are certain teams, instead of bringing a Thatcher, it might work as, okay, well, we'll just ban mute because he's kind of fucking up the game for us right now, and you're gonna have to pick someone else. So if that's the case, then how are they gonna balance this? Because you can pretty much categorize all the operators in Siege into different little categories. For example, so you have the gadget blockers, which would be mute, bandit, and Jaeger. Then you have your destruction operators, which would be Ash, Thermite, Hibana, Sledge, and Buck. Stuff like that. So is it going to be a case of you can only ban one operator per category? Because if you're able to ban all the operators in one category, so you ban bandit, mute, Jaeger, and say Chimera, how is that going to be fair? Also, I hope to God this is only ranked, because if this is in casual too, then that's really gonna change the game. I'm not being all negative here. On the flip side, if we want to look at positives, then this may force some people to be versatile and learn more than one operator, because some people may just be good at playing Chimera, so they only are, main Chimera. So if you ban Chimera, then they have to pick someone else, and they're not that good. So this system may force some people to be versatile and be good at multiple operators. But yeah, that's going to be it for this short video. If you found this helpful, you can leave a like and share it around. It helps the channel grow. And comment down below what are your thoughts on some of these changes, especially the introduction of a pick and ban system. And also be sure to subscribe for more Rainbow Six Siege content. I will be covering everything coming out of the Invitational, including the reveal of the pick and ban system coming out tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe and stick around for that. But yeah, that's going to be it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.